Me, 34M, with my wife, 32F, of 5 years. I know she's cheating on me, I can't bring myself to confront her. I, 34 meters, met my wife, 32F, 7 years ago at a party. She was the out of your league girl no one hit on, and I was the awkward boy in the corner trying to not stare. Eventually she was introduced to me by the host, we bonded over a shared love of darts, went on a few dozen platonic outings together, and after one beer and darts-filled night a year later we wound up in her bed and in a relationship. A year later she proposed to me. She's the power person in our relationship. I am working as a chocolatier, she's a vice president in a larger corporation. She works long days and longer nights, I cook and keep the house clean, and work 5 days a week in a small artisanal shop downtown. We're pretty high-end, so I am making good money, but she's making way more than twice of my salary. So she buys the toys for the house, including a new set-top box for the TV. The set-top box has a screensaver mode where it rotates pictures in your Apple photo library. Last week, she was still at work, I came home from my day and the TV, which I'd used to watch a YouTube video that morning and definitely had turned off, was on screensaver. On it were pictures that must come from her phone, showing her, in our living room, one of our female friends, and a guy I've never met in very explicit poses. The pictures moved around the room, so I think there must have been a fourth person, taking pictures with her phone, but I didn't see that person. What was weird, was that she was wearing a bandage on her hand, something she'd done that morning after complaining about RSI. I left the TV on and was very shocked, but decided to leave the screensaver and see what she had to say when she came home later that evening. When she came home, the pictures seemed to have disappeared. They haven't shown up anymore since then on the TV. I asked her if she'd been home during the day, because the TV was on, and she said she'd come home during lunch to pick up a USB stick she'd forgotten in her computer at home. I tried to ask her about the pictures, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. Now, I have to add something. I am not a very experienced person in romance matters. I am an introvert and barely had relationships before her. Our romance life is, though, even for my experiences, very vanilla. I never have had oral romance in my life before and only twice since we met. Suggesting it to her usually meant that she'd lecture me about not doing those things, and romance for the night was a no-go. In those pictures she did all the things she never wanted to do with me. Since that day I have tried to confront her a number of times. She stays out longer, lately, not just since last week, for the past 4 months maybe, and she's often too tired for anything romantic, even just cuddling, and when she comes home she often disappears in her office and comes to bed long after I have fallen asleep. But even during the time we had together, like this weekend, I can't bring myself to confront her. I am worried about what I might hear and what this would mean for our relationship. I still love her very much and can't imagine a life without her. How can I summon the courage to do this? Is there a way out of this? Too long, didn't read, my wife is cheating on me and I saw pictures of it on our TV. I can't bring myself to confront her.
Hey guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help me out, thanks.
Get angry. Your wife has zero respect for you. She had romance with other people in your home and took pictures of it. You should be pissed. Here's what you're going to do today, you are going to talk to a lawyer. You are not initiating divorce proceedings, but you are going to understand what is involved and how to protect yourself if a divorce is imminent. Then you're going to go do all of the things the lawyer told you to do, bank accounts, getting together important documents, etc. Then when your wife comes home, you are going to sit on the couch with the pictures queued up on the television. As she walks in, you are going to ask her calmly if she would care to explain. Listen to her explanation and make sure that you have the biggest balls you can muster while doing so. Remember, just because your romance life has been boring doesn't give her the right to poop on your face. Be mad. It's okay to be mad. Give yourself a few days to process after you hear what she has to say and then decide what to do. It's either going to be marriage counseling or divorce, and I would certainly recommend the latter. The pictures are gone. I spent all day today on the screensaver. I was scared to tell you the truth, and there are pictures she took at our vacation a few weeks ago and some pictures she took of food for her Instagram, but the romance ones are gone. I am calling a lawyer from the park. I don't want to do it from home in case she's coming home. Thank you for your suggestions. Update, me, 34M, with my wife, 32F, of 5 years. I know she's cheating on me. I can't bring myself to confront her. So, lots to tell. First off, however, a few things. Before I wrote this, I didn't know what a red pill was. Now I do. I kind of wish I didn't, but a few dozen messages kind of made that happen. You know those debt solution letters you get when you're known to the county to owe money? That's how those things came in, fast and furious. Some others assumed that my throwaway having the word red in it meant that I was a sock puppet for them. I am not. I don't think they've got a solution that isn't worse than the problem it pretends to fix. Well, what happened? I left the house that evening for a walk, she wasn't home, and called around for lawyers. It was pretty late already and I got a lot of voicemail, but one picked up. She asked me to get Mount financial statements and a lot of other things together and see her the next morning. I then decided to confront my wife that evening. That didn't happen. She came home very late and disappeared to take a bath almost right away. I snuck into her office and took her phone out from her purse. It had a fingerprint scanner, but her PIN was the same as she uses for the garage and our safe which she set up, so that was easy. There was nothing on the phone that I could find. Pictures in Apple Photos and Google Photos were all from things we'd done together and some for her job. No messages also, either. Just as I wanted to put the phone back, her bag buzzed. She has another phone. That one is an Android and had a pattern, so I couldn't log in. But on the screen was a message, phone number only, no name, with a less than 3 on it. Put that back. Decided to postpone confrontation until after lawyer, but took a photo of the message. Next morning I talked to the lawyer and she spent about half an hour to just go over possible outcomes and what I can expect next, then another 45 minutes talking about finances and so. We don't have kids and she's the big earner, so I stand to either be just out of the relationship or be out and owed some money. It'll be months, maybe even more than a year, until all this is dealt with. Takes 5 minutes to marry, a year to unmarry, it seems. I'd walked by my work and told boss and I was sick. I look like poop, from not sleeping and some crying, so that was pretty convincing. We work in food, being sick is a bad idea at that job. Went home and unplugged the Apple TV and took it to a friend who runs a small computer store. He confirmed what you told me, the pictures on the screensaver are from her Apple Photos. He's also the first I told and he immediately offered me to stay at his place with his wife and kids if I had to leave for a while. Then he called the number the text on my wife's other phone came from and told me a guy named Rob had answered it. Walked home and texted her if she'd be home for dinner. She texted back that she'd have to do some extra work and it could be late, so I told her to please make an exception and come home. I had important news. We'd been looking for a house for a while. I figured she'd think I finally found one. Well, dinner came and went, and she didn't show. She came home around 10, smelling of cigarettes. She was all happy and asked me what I wanted to talk about, so I asked her to sit down. I'm 99% to making something up about a house and avoid the confrontation, but then, I guess for the first time, I felt a little anger. So I told her. I said I know you've been cheating for a while, now. I've been working with an attorney and we'll have to talk about these things at some point, so now is as bad a time for that as ever. She didn't blow up and deny it. She just deflated and started to shake. A lot of your PMs, my attorney, and my friend, all told me not to press for details, and not put that on me as well. But I really wanted to know, so I said tell me about Rob. She told me they'd met through Anne, the friend on the couch with her, and Anne wanted to have romance with him while he had a crush on my wife, so they hatched this threesome plan. That was 14 months ago. Apparently they've since included Rob's wife. That's the mysterious fourth person who took the pictures, who is polyamorous with that Rob guy. The picture thing was solved, too. She'd handed the wife her phone to take a few pictures and didn't remember the whole screen blanker thing. When she was at work, she'd uploaded them and deleted them from the phone. By then, by chance, I'd seen them. She had the second phone for precisely the reasons I thought, as one that isn't on our shared contract where I couldn't see the incoming and outgoing calls in my statement. She also had short affairs with other women and a few men, and most of her weekend work things were actually her and Rob going on short trips together. Through all this, it felt like she was giving me as much detail as she could in an effort to hurt me, and it worked, but I think I kept a pretty good poker face. I told her that I would leave the house, that I had photographed and catalogued everything and was hoping for an amicable separation. She simply declined, told me she'd leave and take a hotel for the time being, and put her keys on the table. She packed a few things and left. That was it. As this one guy/you/Jluster says, it was like the dentist, it hurt less than I thought it would but still hurt damn much. Today I have about 15 missed calls from her and 150 plus messages, all asking me for forgiveness and if we could make it work again. I agreed to meet her next week, but only to divide our possessions. As far as I am concerned, this is over. Except for my one friend no one knows yet, and I want to wait with making it public knowledge while I sort my stuff here and decide how I go from here. Might actually be hitting the gym, no intentions for a rebound relationship, and the rest we'll see. Too long, didn't read, confronted wife, she admits to cheating, rest is in the hands of my attorney. I'm broken but I'll get. Hey, I'm sorry. This crap hurts no matter who you are. I hope you all the best. Remember to talk to your friends and explain that you guys are getting a divorce. Tell them as much or as little as you want to, but build a support network for yourself. You may not feel that you need it now, but one day reality will hit and it will hurt bad. It's always good to have that one friend you know will pick up at 2 AM and just listen. Internet hugs, it will get better. You will find someone one day who will blow your ex out of the water and make you wonder why you spent so much time with someone who couldn't make you a priority. Duck dude. As poopy of a situation that you were put in, you really handled it the best anybody could. You'll make it though this. There will be a time in your future where you'll be able to take a deep breath of fresh air and feel free from this crushing weight. And it'll be worth it. I, 28F, think my husband, 35M, might be hiding something from me. We've been together 6 years, married for 5. We have a 2-month-old baby together. I'm not sure if I've completely lost my mind or if my husband is hiding something big, but there are a bunch of small things that make me think something could be up. 1. I think he has 3 phones. He has a work cell, his personal cell, and I really think there is a third phone that is the exact same model as his personal cell. I don't have much to go off of. There was one time when I was driving and he attached his phone to the holder in the car for directions and I noticed it was almost dead. When we stopped later to get some food at a rest stop, he went in to get food and I got gas. When I was waiting for him, I picked his phone off the seat to set it back up and it wouldn't magnetically stick to the holder. There is a magnet in the case of his phone, and it was fully charged. When confronted, he told me he charged it with a portable charger while we were driving, but I really think I would have noticed him plugging it in and the portable charger sitting there. To be fair, he did show me a portable charger, but that doesn't explain the magnet not working. After that, he wouldn't put his phone back on the holder and used the charger on it since the battery was being weird. Doesn't make sense because it was fully charged, right? 2. He shut down the Wi-Fi in our house for 2 full days because he wanted it to completely reset and connect to another tower. We have satellite internet, which I don't know much about, but it seems weird to shut down the internet for 2 days. Normally they say unplug for a few minutes to reset. When it came back on, he had set up a guest Wi-Fi account and I was told to use that one. He won't give me the pass to the main one because he said he only wants guests to connect to the main one. I don't know much about computer stuff, but it seemed kind of weird to me. 3. Everything is super secure. Phone password is really long, car keys are locked in a safe at night. I don't have access to any of these things. 4. No longer uses our shared bank account. I can see his paycheck go in and the bills automatically go out, and other than gas and groceries there's absolutely no charges. Kind of weird, right? 5. He doesn't check his email anymore, he hasn't in months. It makes me think he might have gotten a new email address. He will only check if I ask him if he got my email, but they used to go right to his phone. 6. He has a backpack that he takes everywhere he goes. Those are just some examples, but there are a ton of small things like that. He has little excuses for each of them, but I'm starting to think that something is up. Any insight? Too long, didn't read. I've been noticing lots of small weird things that make me think my husband is hiding something from me. After reading the post and responses, Op's husband is either a medication dealer or a secret agent. Update: I, 28F, think my husband, 35M, might be hiding something from me. I asked my husband about everything in my post and he had really good reasons for some of it. It felt like that was the first time in a long time that he was being completely honest with me. He showed me inside the safe, backpack, showed me he had a second phone. For anyone wondering, the backpack just had clothes, an iPad and laptop, toiletries etc. for work trips. The safe also held a gun, which I had no idea he had. He says he got the second phone because he almost got fired for being unreachable one time, so he got another phone on a different network so his boss can always reach him. And he didn't tell me because he didn't want me to worry about him getting fired or us having to move to an area with better reception. I had decided to just leave it at that for a while because he was finally being honest with me and I knew he wasn't doing anything nefarious, so I was just going to drop it, but I saw he left his phone unlocked when he went to the bathroom and I couldn't help myself, so I snooped. I know that's bad, but I just wanted to stop worrying. I looked at his texts and there was one woman who told him she loved him and the texts were really flirty, and another woman who he was talking to, but I didn't have time to read that convo. I only had maybe 2 minutes on his phone before he came running back from the bathroom, probably realizing he left his phone unlocked. He knows I know, but he doesn't want to discuss it because he doesn't know how much I know, so he's been pretty much avoiding our son and me since then. Honestly, I just wish I never picked up his phone in the first place. I know that I need to leave him, but just the thought of being a single mom and our son having to live the divorced parent's life makes me sick. I've only told a couple people and my one friend offered to take me and the baby in so I can finish up my maternity leave without having to worry about buying a house, but he has a newish girlfriend so I doubt that would be okay with her, and he works in the same department as my husband. That's all there is to update on. I know I need to get my poop together and deal with this, but I'm having a really hard time pulling it together. Too long, didn't read, lots of lies and he's cheating on me. Better your son live the divorced parent's life than the my parents hate each other life. As a child of the second, I cannot agree more. OP, don't stay for your child. This hurts more than it helps. A testament to the power of the gut. All hail the gut.